Hello everyone, this is StichRulez, and I wanted to talk about my performance in the recent Kaiba Corporation Cup in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links for Speed Duel format. Um, there was a lot of great milestones accomplished. I was able to maintain top 100 global uh, for the first day and partially throughout the second day. So I'm really proud of that because I they're being able to go against the literally the best players on the planet and being able to maintain that standard during a duration of almost 3 days was quite an accomplishment for me. And also receiving the KC Card Award for placing top in one of the top positions globally, which I'm really happy about as well, receiving that award. So let's go over the deck list. Okay, so if we go ahead, I ran a 30 card build for Galaxy Eyes, and um, as you know, there's some builds that are shorter and less deck count, and mine is more of the maximum. So, in my theory, I wanted to open up as many hand traps as possible. So, as you can see, there's a lot of deck lists that'll run the three Tachyon Primal and also the three Short Infinite Dragon. Now, because of the skill that we have, I think that since we have the skill in place, we have the luxury of being able to search all your types of Tachyon cards that you want to get. So with that, I think that you can get away with running just two Schwarzschild Infinity Dragon. And the reason is because of this, you want to open up at least one tech, but preferably two techs, meaning two hand traps. You want to open up an Effect Failure, a Nibiru, Ghost Mourner, Book of Eclipse, Infinite Impermanence, something else. Because if you're going against the very, very best players on the planet, one tech card is usually not enough. You want to have at least two tech cards in your opening hand. And with this build, I rarely bricked, meaning you can get away with a higher deck count and running less than just having two Schwarzschild Infinity Dragon. And I think because of that, it really helped me a lot being able to open up multiple techs and being able to have at least one hand trap, but most of the time having two, sometimes three hand traps. So when you're gaining 2 to 3 hand traps in every duel, you're going to be able to disrupt your opponent. And all these types of hand traps can really target and disrupt your opponent during throughout all types of matchups because you're going to go against a lot of different types of diverse strategies. So whether you're going against strong decks like Trap Tricks or Branded, or the mirror match against if you're using Galaxy Eyes as well, and you're going against another Galaxy Eyes, all these cards listed can have a really good impact during the game. And also, as funny enough, Stardust is another competitive deck, and you have to kind of consider that type of deck too, because they have ways that hand traps don't notably really affect them, except Infinite Impermanence and Book of Eclipse. So this deck was constructed to handle mostly all situations, and because you're running less Tachyon cards, you open up more actual hand traps and disruptions. You can have a variety of different types of hand traps and disruptions into your deck without having to open up too many Tachyon cards. Because all you really need to do is open up one Tachyon card to get all the other Tachyon cards and go full combo most of the time. So with that, I think you can get away with this type of build and also being able to open up multiple hand traps. At one point, I had a 78 win percentage. It slowly went back to earth, back to around 58%, 59, which is still very, very good because 58% against the best players in the world is more than enough to maintain top 100 global status. But at one point, I had a crazy 78% win rate percentage, which was 78-80% win rate percentage, which is unbelievably good. So, and because of that, and the reason because of that, I was able to open up multiple hand traps into the match. So that really helped a lot with being able to disrupt your opponent, win a lot of the mirror matches, despite going a variety of different decks. So I liked the performance overall with the deck, and I really did like how well overall the whole 3-day event went. With that, the most difficult matchup, despite all this, is Traptrix. Traptrix has a way to go through many different types of disruptions, and it's very hard, even if they get Nibiru'd. And they also can run Typhon, which is basically a floodgate against Tachyon. And if you don't open up a specific tech card like maybe Infinite Permanence or Book of Eclipse, you can have a hard time dealing with that card because a lot of the Tachyon cards, as you know, have 3,000 or more attack, which nullifies the activation of their effects. So you have to find a way to kind of disrupt Typhon and being able to go past that, because a lot of times Traptrix has that tech card into their extra deck list, and they're going to be able to get into that card in the later stages of the game. So despite that one matchup, all the other matchups was very, very good, and I was really happy about that. But Traptrix, Traptrix is a really, really difficult matchup, and if you're and you really can just auto lose basically at times if they open up really good and you don't open up enough tech cards. It could be very much of an extreme difficult matchup. So, but despite that, all the other matchups I was very confident in, and the win percentage really showed that. So I was really happy about that as well. So if we look at the extra deck list, this is pretty much standard. Now I ran number 46 Draclubian. That's the only type of card that really kind of stands out, because some builds didn't use it, some builds did. But my theory is, if I went first, and if I didn't open up enough techs, and depending on the matchup, I could at least go into Draclubian. So, and Draclubian could help you slow down your opponent, especially if you're going against Branded or against a Mirror and you're going first. This card can come into play a lot of different times. So I only use Draclubian as a secondary option, because the type of build I was running as a 30-card deck with only running 2 Schwarzschilds, the theory was behind is having more techs. You have enough techs to disrupt your opponent. That's more than enough to win you the duel. And I only go into Draclubian if I don't open up enough techs, and I'm going forward first. At least I have that floodgate I can use as a secondary option. Even if I went first and I had the option to go to Draclubian, I wouldn't go into Draclubian as the primary objective. I will only go to Draclubian if I didn't open up enough hand traps to know that this will be not enough to slow down the opponent, because Branded Despia and the Galaxy Eyes matchup, you have to have it. It's very, very crucial that you have enough hand traps to kind of go against them and disrupt them, because they have different lines of play, and you have to really pay attention to all their different types of fusion cards, disruptions, and chain activations, depending on what they're chaining towards what monster effects. So those were kind of things that really were kind of like something to pay in mind too. So, but number 46, Draclubian did help a lot and really carried the deck during certain matchups, because despite running the type of build that I ran, and no matter what you really do, there's just going to be matches where you just don't open up the most ideal hand or different types of card combinations that you desire. No matter what type of card ratio calculator you run, sometimes there is an element of luck to the game, but you want to minimize that, obviously. So this is the type of ratios that I played for every card, and there's a reason why I ran these specific ratios for this specific type of build and for the matchups that I went against that was consistently going through. So overall, the deck I'm really happy about how I performed, and also being able to go against the different types of matchups that I was going against. Although the Achilles heel to this deck is definitely by far trap tricks. There's just sometimes no matter what you do, they're going to win. Basically, it's a very difficult matchup because they can basically set 3 trap cards from their deck onto the field like it's nothing, and that's all it really takes to hamper Tachyon, because all 3 disruptions can hit them pretty hard. So I'm going to go maybe look at different types of techs that maybe can find a better way to kind of mitigate that type of board state. But overall, like I said, Trap 6 is the most difficult matchup. So I hope you guys enjoy this review, and maybe you hopefully learned something from these types of deck ratios of cards for for 30 card main deck, especially if you're using Tachyon yourself. Like I said, even I have 3 infinite impermanences, but I found that because I was going against Stardust, Dragon, and Trap Tricks matchups, infinite permanence it felt like it was just not enough sometimes, and I felt like maybe other tech cards that I incorporated felt more impactful during the game. Infinite permanence is an absolute powerhouse card, don't get me wrong, but depending on your meta and the cards, the matchups that you're going against, sometimes infinite permanence is just not enough, and you have to kind of dictate, depending on the types of cards and players that you're going against during your tournament play, whether or not that's a viable strategy. So I know that most people would run 2 to 3 copies of Infinite Permanence without a doubt, but like I said, I just felt like because of the matchups I was going against, I found that Book of Eclipse and other tech cards like 3 Nibiru were just like overall more impactful to the game as opposed to just that type of card. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys learned something. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe to the channel. I post daily about these types of content regarding Yu-Gi-Oh and gaming. So thanks for watching, and take care. Okay, bye bye.